Hey guys, it's Steven here. Welcome back to another video, and it's a Harry Kane transfer target special. Yep, Harry Kane has been the name on everyone's lips in the world of Manchester City today because shit just got real. Honestly, it got very exciting today. But before we talk about Harry Kane, I want to play this clip from the latest Hold DL show over on Super 6, where we're talking about the Euros, and personally, my love for the glorious, wonderfully suited man that is Roberto Mancini.
You're back in Italy because of Mancini, not because they're good.
Damn right I am. Now, they are good as well, which helps. But to be honest, are they good because of Mancini? I mean, they're on an incredible run. I can't actually remember the stats, which is terrible research on my front, but they've won an awful lot of games in a row, and they're not conceding goals. They're an impressive side, and the reason as well, other than the fact, obviously, Mancini, is that they've just got a very, very good side, and most importantly, well, it's a settled side. You know, they know what they're doing. They've got a structure that works for them. They've got experience as well. Look at that back line of Chiellini and Bonucci, and then the midfield they've got, and I hate to say it once again, and damn you Nini, but they've got a Champions League winner in the middle with Jorginho, you know, and they've got obviously Locatelli, who's having a breakout tournament in terms of his worldwide rep, and then you've got like the pace and the devilishness of Insigne out wide and Immobile. It's just a really, really good team, and once again, they've got a world-class manager, and they're not. How many world-class managers do you actually get in international football? And I mean that, by the way, because it's usually the managers who don't quite make it to the top level. And he, honestly, I think that makes a difference to have someone who will fight.
So there you have it. My pick now for the Euros is actually Italy, which is probably isn't particularly surprising or particularly original, but I maintain what I say. This guy is a world-class manager, and I think at this level, when you've got a very good team as it is anyway, that will make a difference because he's a man that commands respect and obviously has that knowledge and that intensity as well to drive the players potentially all the way in this competition. When you've got that defence of Bonucci and Chiellini, then obviously the quality of Barella, Jorginho, Locatelli, and then Insigne, Immobile, and Donnarumma between the sticks. Well, it's a high-quality squad with a manager who knows a thing or two about being successful, both domestically and, of course, personally as well, in his playing career. So, yeah, I'm going for that. Let me know in the comments who you think's going to win the Euros, and go and check out the full video over on Super 6's Super 6's channel, the whole DL show. It's really good fun. I'm enjoying doing that. Let me know in the comments on that video over there, be on screen right now, who you think is going to win the Euros. Go and do it. Go and do it. But let's talk about Harry Kane. I'm browsing through all the Twitter aggregators right now, looking at all the reports, and it's come from so many people. It all kicked off earlier today when Fabrizio Romano went big. Fabrizio Romano said that Kane wants to play Champions League football, which is no new news, obviously, and he wants to leave Spurs, but no decision will be made until after Euro 2020. Fabrizio said that City had made a proposal of 100 million plus the possibility of including players for Harry Kane, while Tottenham have no intention to accept, which is very interesting. Now, apparently what that actually means, it's not that we're going to throw a player in for an exchange. Exchange is what they usually do, is offer a little bit of a discount on a player going the other way. So they'll say, we give you Harry Kane for 100 million, we'll take 20 million off the price of Gabriel Jesus or Laporte or something like that. So it's an exchange in one sense that they're exchanging a discount with each other, but it's not like it's just throwing in, if that makes sense. So it'll be like, here's 100 million for one player, thank you, and we'll give you 50 million for Gabriel Jesus instead of 70 million, or something like that, if that makes sense. So apparently that's what's been offered. Now, there's been lots of reports on this, lots of reports. Stuart Brennan, the Manchester Evening News, said City aren't expecting to make any serious moves in terms of transfer targets before Euro 2020 has been concluded. And that makes an awful lot of sense. Obviously, Euro 2020 is the big elephant in the room about transfers at the moment. Players are distracted, so they can't fully be involved in this. Excuse me. They can't be fully involved in transfers, so it's very much they can't force it. Harry Kane can't force his move when he's playing games for England, can he? It'd be unprofessional, so it's not going to happen. Now, Matt Law, the Telegraph, said City had put together an opening offer for around 100 million. With Spurs' sources are adamant, apparently, that they are yet to receive an official bid for Kane, but it's clear City have begun the process of trying to get the negotiations underway. For what it's worth, a lot of people are saying this. There's also Sammy Mockbell at the Daily Mail as well saying a very similar thing. And you're seeing a lot of people now saying all this now about how City are putting around 100 million. Matt Law said it's structured of an initial 85 million plus 50 million add-ons. Basically, there's too much noise around this today for there not to have been some kind of movement. I think people are probably getting hung up on the words official bid and all that kind of stuff. There's a big chance City haven't bid for Harry Kane, but have also bid for Harry Kane at the same time. And what I mean by that is, I guess it's the perception of how bids are done these days. You know, they aren't always just sent over via an offer. Like a club can bid, but not officially with documentation and all that kind of stuff. And what I mean by that is, like, all the execs of the clubs, they all know each other. Like, you know, Soriano and Cheeky and all that lot, they know Daniel Levy and their directors and all that kind of stuff. They know each other. So if they're going to bid for a player, they simply pick up the phone and they chat to them and they try and hash out a deal on the phone. They'll say, we can do this. And they'll go, no, whatever. And they'll go, right, we'll come back to you. So this is what happens. So even though the City may have not officially emailed a bid via fax or whatever they do these days, they always fax it weird. It's so strange and antiquated. By the way, City may not have done that, but that doesn't mean the bid hasn't not gone in technically. So I guess the wording of this is Spurs might go, yes, we haven't received an official bid, but that doesn't mean they haven't been talking about the player. It doesn't mean they haven't said no potentially to a fee. For what it's worth, I think it's pretty obvious that that they won't accept £100 million. I think that's really obvious, which is interesting. But I think the most important thing for this transfer was to get the ball rolling and get it started. And Harry Kane, there's probably more for Harry Kane to do in this. He has to go relatively nuclear on this. The only difficult thing from Spurs' side is obviously, there's many difficult things. They don't want to lose a player of Harry Kane's quality for very obvious reasons. He's their superstar. But also, they haven't got a manager currently. I've just come back from a job interview at Spurs. Like, leave me alone, lads. They offered Nicola the job as well. Spurs are offering everyone the job at the moment. They're like, we don't want it. Nicola said to your fans, you don't want to manage Spurs, do you? She's happy with a marketing manager job, you know what I mean? And I was like, lads, but Spurs is a good club, man, but I've got bigger ambitions. So, basically, I guess the point I'm making is, they've got the bigger fish to fry at the moment. They need a fucking manager. And I feel like any manager, Harry Kane will be the first thing that they mention when they come to the table, when they're literally going, is Harry Kane going to be here? Daniel Levy will be like, well, how would you define here? I mean, literally as a player playing for this club, Daniel. Well, we have FIFA 21. No. Basically, I can imagine right now it's very complicated for them. And also, you'll try and drive a hard bargain, man. He wants to make it that they can get 120, 130 million out of City. They won't set the first offer, of course. And this is going to go on and on and on and on. Now, according to the reports as well, City are already playing like a hardball. Apparently, let me find it. This is from James Ollie, who works for the ESPN with Rob Dawson as well. And apparently, there's an acceptance of City. It's going to be difficult to sign Harry Kane, given his importance and so on. Apparently, Guardiola is keen to sign a striker, but City are prepared to wait a year if the player is not available. We're not prepared to wait a year, in my opinion, but I would say that's City's first public messaging to say, do we do this now or we don't do it at all? And no one else is going to come in with the same money for Harry Kane. And that's going to be, it's going to be a case of calling each other's bluffs. And I'm not really offered my opinion on this thought yet, by the way, because I know a lot of you follow me on Twitter and you saw my protestations earlier. And what I will say, I want to clarify my thoughts on Twitter earlier is just because I'm not excited by a player, it doesn't mean I don't think the player is absolutely brilliant and can do wonderful things at Manchester City. Two thoughts can be independent but also coexist and cohabit. So, I'm just personally not excited by Harry Kane just because I don't find it interesting. That doesn't mean I don't think he's brilliant. I mean, many players could be brilliant at Manchester City. It doesn't mean I'm particularly arsed about the idea of signing them because I feel I know that sounds really complicated and some people think I'm talking crazy there. But my point entirely is that football's emotional for me and there's many different ways to be successful. It doesn't mean it's Harry Kane or no way. And my only personal strugness about Harry Kane is that I just feel like Harry Kane's a bit boring. I've been watching him play for about a decade now, and I've been hearing talk about him for a decade. It was 8 years, constantly by pundits. I'm so used to the idea of Harry Kane. He's the Spurs guy for me, and there's no mystery or excitement. And to me, if we were signing a superstar, I want to be the edge of the unknown a little bit. I want it to be, oh my God, this guy's coming to the Premier League and he's going to blow it away. And I want it to be like, oh, he's going to be Manchester City's player. He's not going to be that Spurs guy, if you know what I mean. So there's an element to me of just familiarity kind of kills the interest a little bit, his age a little bit. The fact that he's a Spurs legend, he's not the most interesting guy in the world, you know what I mean? He isn't, let's be honest. Harry Kane's a bit of a wet drip of a person. He is. He's just a bit, oh, I'm Harry Kane and I'm a nice guy and that's it, which is fine, but it's a bit dull, you know? There's no... Yeah, he's like one of the most boring superstars you get, which is totally irrelevant, admittedly, but it's just a personal thing. I want a bit of edge to it. I want a bit of spiciness, man, you know? I want a bit of fieriness to a transfer. There's not much to that, really, in my personal opinion. Having said that, I am totally aware that's a subjective opinion. It's just a personal thing. I like exciting signings. I like a new player coming to this country. I don't really like Premier League signings full stop, especially when they're stars of the other club, you know? I wasn't that keen on John Stones for the same reason when we got him. And Kyle Walker, I was like, okay, he's good. But I wasn't excited when Kyle Walker came in. And even less so given how much Harry Kane means to Spurs. But that doesn't mean I'm right. And I openly admit I'm very likely wrong. And I openly admit that Harry Kane's a brilliant player and would score a ton of goals. And Alan Shearer said as well before, if he comes to Man City, he'll absolutely obliterate the goal-scoring record in 3 or 4 years. So Alan Shearer knows, man. And I've got no doubt whatsoever that Harry Kane would score goals for Manchester City for fun if he stayed fit and all that kind of stuff and whatever. But, football's emotional, so my personal feelings are irrelevant to this. What I will say and what I'm aware of is that Harry Kane coming to Manchester City is an incredible signing for Manchester City. Not the most exciting signing, admittedly for me it isn't, and that may confuse some people, but football fans are confusing, I think I've realised, actually, I've been kind of spoiled. City have scored a lot of goals and won a lot of trophies over the past few years, and I got to the point where now I'm not used to that, and I love it. But it's definitely I kind of like it when we've got a new story it comes in. And Haaland's an exciting story. And even the idea for me of, Lautaro Martinez, he wasn't a superstar. I'm not saying I want him over Harry Kane, but I'm saying there's a story there. And Joao Felix is a story. And, I like the idea of someone becoming a superstar at Manchester City. Or, you get the point I'm making. You don't have to agree, but you get it. But either way, if Harry Kane comes, I am going to be very happy about Manchester City's forward options. Put it that way. I am fickle, and I'm happy to admit that. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. I will admit when I'm being a hypocrite. So, I don't mind. But either way, I think there's something in this now. I think we're going to have to sit back and just see how this develops and unfolds, because Harry Kane, it's not going to be easy to sign him. It's going to be very difficult. I'd be very interested to see. I don't think Sterling would be interested, and rightfully so. He won't be interested in Spurs. They can't afford him. He's not going to drop out the Champions League. Laporte, same reason. He's not going to be interested in Spurs. I'm sorry, Spurs fans, if you're watching this. Laporte wants to play for a Champions League club, and he wants to play for either Man City regularly or Barca or Real Madrid, almost certainly. Jesus is an interesting one. I wouldn't be surprised if someone could tempt him if it was the right manager, but that we'll see. Guys, thanks for watching this video. Let me know down in the comments what you make of it. Thanks to all the patrons currently scrolling down the side of the screen. Don't forget to go and watch that Super 6 video about the Euros and all that kind of stuff. Let me know your thoughts down below. Big love to every single one of you for supporting the channel. It really, really means a lot. I can't wait for football to come back properly. Hope you're all enjoying the Euros. Go watch content over Super 6. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.